Boris Johnson has finally reappeared looking tousled and slightly anxious, but his recent appearance yesterday, alongside Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, was aimed at rallying those Conservative voters who may have been wobbling in the final stretch before the election tomorrow. Speaking in central London, Johnson warned voters against electing a Labour government under Keir Starmer, claiming it would destroy so much of what we've achieved. That's getting away with the lies, getting away with the failure, getting away with the indolence, getting away with the holidays, getting away with parties. The event was significant because it marked Johnson's first public appearance in the campaign, and it occurred amid rumours of potential leadership challenges within the Conservative Party. Johnson emphasised the potential negative impact of a Labour supermajority, suggesting it would lead to higher taxes, more wokery in schools, and subservience to EU laws. His speech aimed to draw a sharp contrast between the current Conservative achievements and the perceived threats by Labour's policies. Meanwhile, within the Conservative Party, there's a significant speculation about future leadership bids, particularly from Kem Badenoch and Suella Braverman. I keep spelling Kemi Badenoch wrongly. There we are. And both have distanced themselves from websites in their names promoting their leadership, claiming no association with the domains registered for them, by them. Badenoch, a prominent figure on the Conservative right, has been considered a potential successor to Rishi Sunak, while Braverman has made notable interventions, like some malign character from Dodie Smith novels, since being sacked by Sunak. In fact, she's made a career of being sacked and sacked again, just as Priti Patel was kept on by Boris Johnson for bullying. And there are therefore leadership options for Priti Patel, for Suella Braverman, for Kemi Badenoch, and for Penny Mordaunt. Penny Mordaunt, of course, will lose her seat. Why will Kemi Badenoch be in with a chance? Because in her seat, if somebody's going to be tactically voting, it's not clear whether they're going to be voting for the Labour Party or the Liberal Party to keep her out. So therefore the tactical vote will be split. And that means that Kemi Badenoch will sail through the middle like some sort of stately barge. But it's a barge with a plug, and the plug's dangling. The internal jockeying for position reflects the broader uncertainty within the Conservative Party, as they face potentially significant losses tomorrow, with some polls predicting a Labour landslide of a size that has not been seen in Britain since the beginning of the 20th century. The outcome of the election could trigger, or will trigger, a leadership contest in the Conservative Party. It's just a question of when that will be and who will be involved, and whether or not the broader party, what remains of it, the rump, will be given a say in who becomes leader of the opposition. That is assuming the Conservative Party remains big enough to form the opposition. It's an astonishing position that we've got to, when the question is not who will form the government, but who will form the opposition. The outcome of the election is going to be fascinating, not because of who wins, but because of how much the other parties lose. And the leadership challenge will simply add to the party's recent history of changing the figure at the top. But the figure at the top doesn't change the inadequacy of the party at the bottom. And the problem with the party at the bottom is Brexit. And until the Conservative Party recognise the mess they made with Brexit, the failure of Brexit, the failure to implement Brexit even if they wanted to do it, until they recognise that the problem is Brexit and all our woes derive from Brexit. You know, you just have to be realistic. I would say perfectly okay to think that Brexit was an option. And if you have an option, then you think about the future. But all the rubbish which was put out during the referendum campaign was based on lies. Why? Because the entire project was predicated by Farage, and Farage is the master of deceit. And when it comes down to the crunch, and you have to look into the face of a liar, and you have to look at what that liar produces, then you know. Because Brexit was a failure. And we need to pick up the pieces and rearrange the chess set. And we have two options: to engineer a new relationship with Europe, or to engineer a new entry into Europe. We either have to remake the wheel or change the wheel. I don't know which one you consider to be the easier option when there's a wheel in the back of the car.